49 centimeters squared? No, we have to put them together, right? We need the whole area. So our total area will be 12 plus 49. And what's 12 plus 49? That gives us 61 centimeters squared. All right. Question number 7, what is the area of the shaded space? So beforehand we were adding. It looks like here we're going to be subtracting some answers. So we're going to find the area of the entire 2 pieces and then subtract them. Okay, so let's go big. The area of the, looks like a parallelogram. The area of the parallelogram is base times height. We'll do the whole thing, which is base is 6 times 5, which gives us 30. And the shaded shape. So we're going to find the big shape. And if we want the shaded shape, that means we're going to subtract the triangle here. So the area of the triangle is base times height divided by 2, which is base is 6 times 5 divided by 2, which gives us 30 divided by 2, and that's 15. All right, so the area of the shaded, anytime you want to find a shaded shape, you're going to subtract. So it's 13 subtract 15, which gives us 15 in the end. And if they had any units, let's say centimeters, we would write centimeters squared. Similar to this one, again, let's find the area of the big shape. That looks like a trapezoid. And then the area of the triangle, that looks like, and then a triangle. And then we'll subtract the trapezoid, which is the big one, subtract kind of like the white one in order to get the shaded shape. Yeah, and that answer you should get 10. Let's go ahead and try it. Area is equal to A plus B times H divided by 2 because it's a trapezoid. The top is 2, the bottom is 5, and the height here is 4. So we get 2 plus 5 is 7 times 4 divided by 2, and 7 times 4 is 28. We get 28 divided by 2, which gives us 14. So we can look at the area of the triangle, which is base times height divided by 2. The base here is 2. The height is whatever that height is. Oh, yeah, it's 4. Right? So you see that this line is the same length as this line. So that's 4 divided by 2, which gives us 8 divided by 2, again, is 4. And 14 minus 4, that's 10. That's our final answer. And we've got 1 page left. And through any of this, if you find it's going too fast, you can always pause the video at any time and go back and relook at it. You don't have to follow along all the way through. You can always retract the video. All right, the diameter of a circle is 10 centimeters. Okay, let's go over this. So the diameter is the longest line within a circle. So it's from one side to the other side. That's what we call our diameter. And we're looking for the area of a circle. If you go and look at your green sheet, you should see that the area of a circle is pi r squared. And it looks like kind of like a little table with like 2 little curled legs. That's kind of our pi. Do you remember what pi, remember that pi stands for? Is 3.14, right? So we have to remember that. 3.14, that's pi. Okay, and here within our formula, we have pi times radius squared. And right now we have the diameter. How do you find the radius? Yeah, it's half the diameter. The radius goes from one point in the middle to the other side. It's half the diameter. So this is our radius. So the radius here, I hope you guessed it, is 5 centimeters. Half of 10. 10 divided by 2 gives us 5, which is our radius. So over here we can fill in 3.14 times 5 squared. And this is not 5 times 2. It's actually 5 times 5, right? Because 5 squared means multiplying itself 5, and again, a 5. So this is actually 3.14 times 25, and 3.14 times 25 gives us 78.5. And is that it? Nope, we still have to write centimeters squared because we're finding the area. All right, and then the circumference. If you go ahead and look at your green sheet, you should see that the circumference is two different things. You can have pi times diameter, or you can write it as 2 pi times the radius. They're the exact same because the diameter is actually double the radius, so 2 r's. Okay, so let's just use this one. So we're going to do 3.14 times 10, which gives us 31.4 centimeters. Okay, it's not centimeters squared because the circumference is just like the perimeter. So it's just the outside, so we don't have to write squared. Question number 9. The circumference of a circle is about the same as the perimeter of a square with a side length of 3 centimeters. What is the diameter of the circle? Show your thinking. Okay, so the perimeter of a square. How many sides does a square have? Oh yeah, 4. So that would be like side plus side plus side plus side. So that's going to be 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. That gives us 12 centimeters. Okay. And if we're told that the circumference is about the same as the perimeter of the square, and we're trying to figure out what the diameter is. All right, we know that the circumference of a circle is pi times diameter, which is 3.14 times diameter. Okay, and if they're telling us that the circumference of the square is almost the same as the circle, let's go ahead and put 12 in here because that's what we got for our perimeter. All right, so 12 is equal to 3.14 times what? So that means that we have to divide. Since these two are being multiplied, but we're trying to figure out what one of them is, we have to divide it on both sides. And then those will cancel out. So we get 12 divided by 3.14, and it gives us almost around 4, right? 3 times 4 gives us 12. So 3.14 times what will give us 12? And it's 3.8. So then here we get 12 divided by 3.14 is equal to our diameter. And I'll just go up here. So then 12 divided by 3.14 gives us 3.8 centimeters. So our diameter, therefore, the diameter is about 3.8 centimeters. All right, and 2 last questions. A string is 3 times the length of the diameter of a circle. Circle is a statement that is true. Okay, a string is 3 times the length of the diameter. Okay, so what's the diameter again? Yes, it's this. It's right across from the circle. Okay. And if we have a string, let's 3 them. So that's 1, 2, 3. So there's 3 of them there. And if we took that string and stretched it right out, would it go halfway around the circle, almost all the way around the circle? Would it go around the circle and a little bit more, or that string would almost go around the circle twice? Okay, so going around something means perimeter. So we know that the circumference of a circle is 3.14 times the diameter. Right, and let's say like this string length is, let's say it's 1. So we have 1 here, and 1 here. So then our diameter would just be 1. So 3.14 times 1 would give us 3.14. So that means if we stretch it out, it go around here. So it go around our circle here, it go here, and it go a little bit past. We'll go around the circle a little bit more because it gives us 3.14. So if we had a string we had 3 strings, it would just pass it just a little bit more because we're multiplying it by pi. If the strings were all 1. Same with if they were all 2, it would just go a little bit past. Right. And lastly, the area of a circle is 20 centimeters squared. Circle all the statements that are true. So if we have a circle that has an area of 20 centimeters squared, so that means our circle is pi r squared. And the answer, so our area is 20. So 20 is equal to 3.14 times radius squared. All right, let's go figure out what the radius is. Do you know what to do here? It's very similar to what we did above. So we have something that's being multiplied by something that we don't know. That means, well, we have to divide it. We have to divide it because it's being multiplied. We have to do the opposite operation. And what's 20 divided by 3.14? That gives us about 6.4 is equal to r squared. And maybe you remember this from last year, but here we just don't have r, we have r squared. And kind of like doing opposites again. So r squared squares go with square roots. In order to get rid of something squared, we have to take the square root of it. So the square root, 6.4 of 6.4 is 2.5. So our radius is about 2.5. What would the diameter be if the radius is 2.5? And remember that the diameter is 2 times the radius. So 2 times 2.5, so double 2.5, that gives us 5. And what about the circumference? The circumference is equal to 3.14 times the diameter, or pi times the diameter. So 3.14 times that diameter was 5. Go ahead and put that in our calculator. 3.14 times 5 gives us about 15.7 centimeters. And it's a little, I don't know if you could say it's E, I guess. The circumference is about 15. It's more 16, so yes and no. Like you can circle E if you like, and if not, that's fine. Hopefully that was helpful. If you do have any questions, you can throw them in the chat on Teams, or you can message me privately in Teams, or you can send me an email. All right, see you tomorrow at 8:30.